Hey everyone, I'm Tashina from Logical Harmony. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is a chatty get ready with me to get this look. It's been a while since I've filmed, so forgive me for the awkwardness of this. Forgive me for any of those noises from upstairs. As always, everything in this video is cruelty-free and vegan. If you guys want to see a full list of vegan brands and tons of other resources, we have those on my website, logicalharmony.net. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. It's like the liquid version of their stick foundation, which you guys know I love so much. And they sent me a few shades a while ago. I did film a first impression, but the coloring was a little off. So I do still want to film a review. I just realized I grabbed the wrong shade. So I do still want to film a full review because I do really like this foundation. There are some pros and some cons about it that I want to share. Today I'm going to be using this, why can't I say shade? Today I'm going to use this shade Shell, and I'm going to be using their little brush that goes with it. I know mine's dirty, I need to clean it. It's just life sometimes, you know, your foundation brushes are dirty longer than they probably should be. The reason why we wanted to film this video obviously is two parts. Like one, we haven't filmed in a while. We've been pretty MIA for a bit. If you guys want to know more about why, you can go to our vlog channel. I'll link to it below. I kind of just don't really want to get super in-depth to it. There's just been a lot going on. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you kind of know as well. So like a long story short, again, you can go to our vlog channel if you want more updates about everything. We've just been having like a hard time and a lot has been going on. And in the same week, our car was totaled and Penny, who was like my little baby, passed away. And so it's just been a really tough time, a lot of things up in the air, and we're moving soon, which is like the worst time for a car to be totaled. So just trying to figure out like how to balance everything, like not just in a practical way, but in an emotional way. It's been a really hard time for me. And a lot of you guys have been super, super supportive, which I've appreciated so much. I feel so lucky to have you guys, and like Justin has been amazing during this time. I really don't know what I would have done without him during all of this. So it's just been like, I don't know, it's been a tough few weeks, and I've really needed to take the time away and just take time for myself. And I'm really, really lucky that with this as my job now, that's something I can do and really make sure that I'm in a good place before I come back fully. Which is such a privilege to be able to do. Like, I fully recognize that. That's not something I could have done before, when I worked for other people. And being able to do that now is amazing. And I'm so, so thankful. And I don't know, we're gonna come back because we are moving soon. We're going to come back kind of like in a slower way. So kind of what we had talked about doing, by the way, this is the new e.l.f. Camo Concealer. He sent all the shades to me and I've been playing with them. So kind of what we had talked about doing, Justin and I, is doing a lot to build content behind the scenes and for a little bit publishing less content. So kind of doing maybe like 2 videos a week instead of 3 for a bit, and we would still be filming like a pretty regular amount of videos for us and just kind of like building a little bit of a backlog as a buffer. And doing the same on the blog, doing the same on Instagram, things like that. So that way when we're ready to come back after things are a little more settled, we have like a good amount of stuff to come back with. And so I think that will be really good. I think too, for me right now, to be honest with you guys, like I feel much more ready to create content than I feel ready to be social, if that makes sense. Like I'm still not really, I don't know, it feels weird to be like getting back to normal, because normal is like, oh, we have our car and we have, Penny here, and it's an adjustment and it's weird, and I don't know. I just need a little time, and moving is like a whole thing. You guys know. I'm sure you guys have all moved at least once. You guys know what that's like. We did pre-film some videos before, and one was filmed like in the middle of what was going on before things really kind of got bad, I would say. And so I think we're still gonna put those out. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up that there are going to be some videos coming out. They're going to be like get ready with me videos. They in the timeline of things might not really make sense, but if you're just here to like see makeup, it's going to be totally fine. And there's stuff that we didn't mean to delay as much as we did. It's just been a tough little bit. So I really appreciate your guys' support through all of this. I appreciate like your patience and your understanding while we're like going through everything. Yeah, just thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to use a cream blush today. This one from Juice Beauty, and I'm using this Ofra sponge. They sent this to me and I love it. I love it. I need to do a video because I know I have so many with every sponge that I try comparing it to the Beauty Blender, and I'm really bummed at myself that I didn't do that sooner. Because spoiler alert for you guys, I've been reaching for this over my Beauty Blender. Like that is unheard of. That has never happened with any beauty sponge before. I love it so much, and it's softer, it's bouncier. I feel like every other sponge I've tried has been like more firm and like just not as nice. And I really like this one. Also, it doesn't make that gross noise on your skin. I freaking hate that noise. You guys know what I'm talking about when you're bouncing the Beauty Blender and you just hear it, and it's, ugh, it's the grossest thing. So yeah, I really like this one. This blush is not quite as pigmented as I want. I'm just gonna add a little more. So for the past few weeks also too, I just haven't really been wearing makeup. I'm kind of just getting back into being normal now and like what that would be. And in some ways it feels really good, but it's a little weird, and just adjusting to all of that. So I'm gonna set this with the Hourglass powder. I really like this combo. It's really good. I think I bought this a while ago, and I feel like I've barely dented it because you just need such a tiny little bit. As far as like video requests from you guys, they're definitely ones we're going to be doing. And that's part of why we want to take this break of creating content and releasing less, is so that we can really catch up on all the content that's requested by you guys that we want to take care of, and just figure out like what makes sense to put in. So like, for example, Lush Naked Skincare. I have been getting so many questions about it, and there's definitely going to be a handful of videos on that coming soon, or soon-ish. I think what I'll do is film some and release, like kind of stagger them, because people wanted to see like a morning, an afternoon, or not an afternoon. I guess you could do an afternoon skincare routine, but people wanted like a morning and a nighttime, and then kind of just like an overall like summary of like, here are my absolute favorites, because the line is pretty big. There's a lot of different options, and there's just so many different things that I feel like we could do with content right now. So I'm excited to be back and to be creating. I'm gonna use this new Milani strobe light. They just sent this to me and it looks so gorgeous. I'm actually gonna tap that on because this looks much more intense than I thought it would be. Let's watch this. Some people had asked me if I thought this would compare to the Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's find out. I think this is definitely much more of a liquid highlight than that is though. But yeah, so we're just gonna be creating, and I think that's gonna be really good for me because it'll help me kind of get back into the flow. And I'm one of those people too where like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely more of an introvert. And when I have a hard time, I tend to just like wanna like pull back into my little shell. And it's much more difficult for me to be like interacting with people during that. So right now I just am like, I need to focus, I need to buckle down, I need to get stuff done and really like figure out what normal is for me right now and what that means with everything going on. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but I think if you guys, I don't know, I think a lot of you will understand and relate in your own way. Let's add a little bit more of this. I feel like this is really glowy and dewy, but it is drying really fast. Like as far as how it looks on the skin, I really like it. I want to try it a couple more times before I give my actual thoughts, because this is my first time using it. But I could see, if you work with it quickly, I could see saying that this could be a dupe. Formula wise, not really. As far as like the prettiness and the glow, Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Gonna do eyes, I guess. We're busting through this pretty quickly. Let me brush out my brows. Just give those a little brusharoo. How many of you guys have gotten your brows microbladed, by the way? I'm curious. And how many of you want to? Because I feel like people are very much on the fence, like love it or hate it. And I'm always intrigued when that's the case. As you guys know, do I want to add anything to my brows? I'm just going to do, this has some product on it because I need to wash it. I'm just going to do a little bit of a thing there. Anyway, so with everything that's going on, just continue to have a little patience. I really, really appreciate it. We'll be back soon, like back to normal, back to being like, you know, a regular thing pretty soon. Just in the short term, it is going to take a little bit as we go through everything else. And if you see like some weird out of place videos, that's just what that is. It's just that, you know, life is life sometimes. I think we all experience that where things get in the way and it doesn't go as planned and it is what it is and there's nothing you can really do. So I'm using some ColourPop pressed shadows today. I will list the ones that I use down below. I'm trying to be much, much better about that. So I'm just gonna pull them out. This one is Hear Me Out. And I actually separated my ColourPop shadows into one that is shades that are still currently available and one is shades that are not. And so I'm trying to use only the shades that are still available because personally, I get really sad when I want to buy a product and it's totally discontinued and gone. But that's just how it is sometimes. I'm gonna use Wait For It on my lid. And I'm kind of going all over the place with my brushes right now, but I'm using a mix of MOTD and Sigma, and this one is Luxie, which I have a handful of Luxie brushes that I really like, but I tend to just use MOTD and Sigma for the most part. And Eco Tools, actually. I use a lot of Eco Tools brushes. I feel like for the drugstore, theirs are my favorite and the best, personally. I've tried a few from Real Techniques, and I'm like, they're good. And some of them I love, like this one. I don't even know. Oh, the setting brush. I love this for highlighter. But in general, I prefer Eco Tools. I feel like their brushes are great. Elf's brushes are really good too, though. There's some good drugstore stuff lately. What new releases have you guys picked up? Like, what have you been into? What's intriguing you for spring/fall, depending on what hemisphere you're in? What's jumping out at you for this next season? Because I also, too, one thing that we've been talking about is I want to be doing more with more affordable brands because that's a huge part of my collection is really affordable brands like Milani and Elf and ColourPop and things like that, and just wanting to highlight those more. You're definitely still going to see my favorite, you know, higher end brands like Charlotte Tilbury, Too Faced, Smashbox, things like that on here because I can't live without them, let's be real. I do want to start incorporating more and more affordable product lines and just different things to try out because I just think it's good to have that variety. And I know a lot of you guys too want more drugstore stuff. I feel like drugstore quality has gotten so good. I will also say I went to the drugstore the other day and I feel like drugstore prices have gotten a lot higher. So yeah, the quality should be a lot better. But from brands like Elf, the fact that you can buy like an eyeshadow palette and it's $15 and has tons of shades and they blend really nicely, like I love that. I love how accessible it's making cruelty-free and vegan beauty, and that it's just like a lot easier than it used to be to go in somewhere and buy stuff. And like, yeah, maybe you're spending a little bit more, but it's totally worth it. Like a Wet n Wild foundation now that's $5, so much better than their old ones that were $2. Like, I am happy to pay double the price for a much better quality foundation. And I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's gonna be good, and I'm trying to just let my content be more centered around like what I'm enjoying and what I want to play with at the moment, and less about like what I was sent in PR. Like I love being sent PR. I think it's super helpful, but I think it's overwhelming for you guys from the perspective of a viewer when products come out and like every channel is covering the exact same stuff. Like that can be overwhelming, and I could just see wanting something different here and there. So we're trying to do that and just doing more with like stuff that's already in my collection. My makeup collection is huge. I try to really not buy that much stuff unless I think it's really, really pretty or something that's really calling to me or something you guys are really interested in. That's definitely a privilege that I have because this is my job. And because this is my job, my makeup collection is also already pretty massive, and so I'm trying to use more of what I have and what I've already bought instead of buying more, because I don't really need to. I can just focus on what I have. And it was pretty crazy last year, like my Sephora VIB Rouge and my Ulta rewards both lapsed because I didn't spend enough money at either place. I just found myself shopping at different places for things. Brands are offering such good deals on their own websites now too, like e.l.f. I feel like I've bought from them a lot because they're always doing these amazing like gift with purchase things and free shipping. And it's like, I feel like there's much less incentive to shop from the big store websites now. Like their point systems are helpful, but they're not that great. It's not enough to keep me enticed. Like I don't really need a free sample for 100 points that I had to spend $100 to earn. It's just not that big of a deal. I'd rather just buy whatever seems interesting and try out more stuff from other places versus just like Ulta and Sephora. I don't know. Is anyone else feeling that way too? Just like a little bored with them? I feel like they could do better. I feel like they could, actually Ulta's doing a good job of bringing on more interesting brands. Like Black Moon Cosmetics is now there, which is so cool to see. I love them so much. So I feel like Ulta is actually doing a really good job of bringing on interesting brands, relevant products. ColourPop is there, you know, things that are definitely interesting to people, but they want to see in person versus just ordering online. And I feel like Sephora is not doing as much in that way with the products that they're carrying. It's kind of like the same old, which is fine. I mean, I think their whole thing is they want to be more curated and have fewer brands, but I like that Ulta is giving these brands that have previously been online only a place because it makes it easier when you don't know what the colors look like or you want to go play with them. Like it's just a lot better. Or if you want to take advantage of the reward point system or you want a better return policy, like it can be a better place to shop. I definitely do buy things on Sephora and Ulta if I think I might return them at all because their return policies are great. And as you guys know, because I get a lot of requests to show like stuff that didn't work for me, I'm pretty quick about returning things that don't work for me. So yeah, I don't know. What am I doing now? What am I doing with my eyes? I just started going and I'm not sure what I'm doing. I kind of want to do a little purple maybe. Do I want to do that? Is that too much? Let's try it. Let's do a tiny bit on my lower lash line. I'm just going to keep this pretty simple. I think, ooh, or do I want to do like the blue? Tiny tangerines. I love tiny tangerines. I'm going to do tiny tangerines. Probably wore the wrong shirt for this look, but it is what it is. Let's wipe off that brush. Hey, applesauce. You have food. You don't need to tear open that bag. Justin, can you grab her, please?
Applesauce, come on, baby. There's plenty of food in your bowl and in every other bowl.
She's like, I want fresh food. This food is from an hour ago. So yeah, I think that, I don't know, I'm excited for how things are going to go. I'm excited for what's upcoming. It's just been like, I don't know, it's been a transition. I'm trying not to be like a downer about things. I'm just like, I'm still really struggling, to be honest with you guys, with like every day being a different thing. I don't know, like losing a pet is really hard and just like so much going on at once is hard. Again, if you want more details, you can watch the vlogs. I just like, I don't want to get into it much. But yeah, it's tough and we'll see. But I think everything will come together and I think everything will be fine in the end. And in between, it's just going to be a little bit of an adjustment. And thank you again for your patience during that. And thank you for your patience during this time too. Like, it's been so amazing how many of you guys have reached out and been super supportive and understanding. Like, I really, really appreciate that because it's just meant a lot to me. And just the support from you has been so helpful and so great. And I know I haven't been super like responsive. It's just been a hard thing to be responsive about, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when I go and I want to reply to people and their comments on the post about Penny, it's like then I'm seeing, you know, like it's hard. And as I'm like processing it in my own time, like I'll get there eventually. It's just going to take some time, which I think a lot of you understand. especially based on the comments on that post. A lot of you really, really understand. So thank you. All right, I'm gonna move on because I feel like if I do anything more, I'm just gonna like make this a mess. I already don't know how I feel about it. I feel like in my mirror, it looks one way and in the monitor, it looks another. So that's part of it too. I'm just gonna spray this on. Smashbox primer water. How I've missed you. I love this stuff so much. This is like my second or third of these in the past year. The hype is real. I get it. I get it now. I didn't for a long time. And then as soon as I used it, I was like, oh yeah. Totally understand why people love this so much. Also too, I think by the time this video comes out, no, it won't be out yet, but Elf and J.Kiss are coming out with a collab together. So make sure you guys check that out because you know it's gonna be pretty. You know it's gonna be gorgeous and shades that you will want to try. So I'm just gonna plug that right now because she's my friend and I'm really excited for her, and I know she's worked so hard on this collab, and I'm really, really excited for it to come out. And I just have to mention it here because it's coming out soon. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. It looks so pretty. And I'm sure she's been teasing looks using it for quite some time. And yeah, just trust me, you guys are gonna wanna get it. That's all I'm gonna say. Elf has been sneaky peeking it, so go to her Instagram, J.Kiss and Makeup, go to Elf's Instagram, Elf Cosmetics. And it comes out, I believe, on March 5th. So I'm just gonna put my eyeliner on. Justin's probably gonna edit this out because this might take me a bit. If not, enjoy all these awkward, weird faces that I make. Okay, and now I'm going to do my mascara. And since I'm gonna use Better Than Sex today, I was going to use the Au Naturel mascara, which is really, really nice. But I'm feeling like I need some bigger lashes, and I don't want to deal with the idea of falsies today, so this is what I'm gonna do. Also, I have been practicing more with falsies, for real, and I feel like I'm kind of getting the hang of what brands work better for me. There are other brands and other styles I definitely need a lot of work on still, but I'm getting there. And you know, this is one thing I talked about, which is part of what I wanted to do for 2019 was just be more experimental with makeup and like care less, basically, like not care less about the end result, but just like experiment and have fun and try things that are new and work on different things like wearing color or wearing false lashes. I feel like I've been getting better about it. I don't do a lot of it on camera because it is still such a process for me still. How many times can I say still in a sentence? But I'll get there. Like, I definitely feel like I post more colorful looks on Instagram than what I tend to do on camera. And I think it's because on camera I tend to just go for what I know is safe and is going to work. But I'll work up to it, I promise. I promise. Because I do think that would be fun to do. Especially now that there's such good, like, affordable color options. Like, yeah, like Elf and ColourPop. Whereas before, it's like I was so hesitant to buy like a bright eyeshadow palette to try out. And I do have some great ones I've been playing with, like Ofra sent me their Bright Addiction palette, which is, so far out of my comfort zone, but it's been so much fun to play with. And I've created some really ugly looks with it, not gonna lie. And some really fun ones too that I've just been enjoying that whole process of playing with and like seeing how things blend together and what I'm comfortable with. Like for me, it's really the comfort thing. Like I will post or I'll do something and think it looks like garbage and it actually looks pretty good in the photos. I'm just very critical, and for me, brushes matter so much too. And I realized too, because I've been using so many of the same eyeshadow formulas for a long time, that there are just certain things where I forgot, like, oh, this blends so differently because it's like a packed pigment. It is not like, you know, one of my Makeup Geek shadows that you can blend into oblivion, basically. Like, some stuff's just been a bit of a learning experience, which is good. It's what I needed. Like, I need to be trying new stuff. I need to be checking out new things. Apparently just getting mascara on my face. Stepping out of my comfort zone more. That's basically what this year is going to be about for me. And that is part of why. I mean, it's not part of why we're moving, but it's one of the reasons why I'm excited to move, is that's going to be such a huge thing in stepping out of my comfort zone. being somewhere different. Oh my God, I just got more mascara on there. I'm gonna let that dry a little and then I'll wipe it off. Oh, they're doing more evacuations. It's been really flooded here lately. We're in Napa, so it's actually been not bad because they have like systems in place to control it because it used to flood really, really badly. But a lot of the areas around us are not as well prepared. You can definitely tell, and it's so sad. But there have been a lot of flooding, a lot of evacuations, and they just said that there's going to be more because it's supposed to start raining again tonight and rain through the weekend. That sucks for the people who are already dealing with crazy floodwaters, which is a lot, especially like a little farther north. I'm just going to add a little more concealer. I feel like I had some fallout. I love this brush. I thought it was going to be really overhyped. That's why I hadn't bought it, is I was like, how great could this be? It is like one of the best foundation brushes I've ever used in my life. My other favorites are the Sigma F80, the flat top kabuki. I know that's like the brush everyone on YouTube loves, but I love it. And then the Buffing Base Boss brush from MOTD is super good too. So if you're looking for a good foundation brush, Luxie makes some really good ones too, but these are my favorites. Where did I put my powder brush? Set under there. And actually I'm gonna set with some of my Hourglass ambient light. I got this trick from a super old Jaclyn Hill video like 4 years ago, where she uses some of the shades in the ambient light palette to set underneath her eyes and really like glow and brighten, and it does the trick. And while I'm there, may as well add a little highlight because, you know, I don't have enough on. And then for lips, I have a few different NCLA ones that I pulled out. No, not that one. It's Pasadena Roses. It's real pretty, not with this look. Brentwood Snob. Let's try this one. Yeah, I like that. I really like their lipstick formula. If you guys haven't tried it, you should. It's like a semi-matte, so it's like creamy like a regular lipstick. It has a little bit of a matte finish. And I think just over the center to give it something different, I'm gonna put a little bit of Barbie Convertible, which is their jelly, which feels like a balm. They just launched a balm and I am so excited. I cannot wait. Thank you for catching up with me. I'm sorry if this was awkward at times. It's been a few weeks since I filmed anything, and the last thing that I filmed was like in the middle of what was going on. So it was kind of like painful and awkward, and this I feel like has been awkward as well. But thanks for having the patience with me. Thank you so much for like sticking around. Again, thank you so much for your support during all of this, and I will see you guys soon.